Good afternoon. We're glad you're on ktnkenya.tv. I'm Sophia Wanuna and this is your news update. Now, 7 people, including KCSE County Senator Christopher Obure, were this morning charged in Nairobi court over the Anglo Leasing scandal. The accused appeared before Chief Magistrate Hannah Ndongo at the Milimani Law Courts. Those who appeared in the dock were former Postmaster General Francis Chahonyo, former Principal Secretary for Transport Sami Kyungu, former Finance Minister Christopher Obure, and former Finance Secretary Samuel Bundotich. They face charges of economic crimes, abuse of office, breach of public trust, and failing to comply with procurement laws. They all denied the charges. Other suspects were former Permanent Secretaries Dave Mwangi, Joseph Magari, and David Lumumba Onyonka. They face charges of economic crimes, breach of public trust, abuse of office, and conspiracy to defraud the government of Kenya millions of shillings over Anglo Leasing security-type contracts. Former Finance Minister David Miraria failed to appear before the court on grounds that he is admitted at Karen Hospital. Other suspects who failed to appear before the court were businessman Deepak Kamani, Ramesh Kamani, and Chamantlal Kamani. The Kamanis have been directed to appear before the court tomorrow. At the same time, Chief Magistrate Hannah Ndongo issued an international warrant of arrest to 2 foreign individuals, Bradley Beaconsfield and Brian Mills, to be arrested by the International Police and deported in Kenya to face corruption charges over Anglo Leasing. The case will be mentioned on the 18th of March. Now, police are investigating robbery in the Axton House stalls along Kenyatta Avenue next to Teleposter House. The robbery took place early today morning, left 1 person injured. More than 30 people alleged to be auctioneers who were sent to restrain the tenants from accessing the building, but instead resorted into forceful eviction. The alleged auctioneers sealed off the main entrance of the building, after which it is alleged that they began looting and made away with high-valued property in the early morning incident. Police are holding more than 10 people who posed as masons and security officers in connection with the looting, while the rest escaped.
This was not a normal operation because it was like a gang-like operation where people were carrying away computers, printers from, and I could see that they were coming from private offices. So I watched from a distance because they were, at one point they were getting violent, and we couldn't get access to the office because they had cordoned off.
Wale wamegain access from the back side, wamegain access pia, wamebeba vitu mingi za watu. Siwezi valuation ni ngumu kwa maana unajua from different offices, different places. Kama mimi kwangu kule wameruka pande ya nyuma na nimepata wamebeba CPUs kama 4 na external hard disks. Ni watu walikuwa na time ya kufanya hii kazi kwa maana hata wameweka radio on.
The new non-ranking system did not dampen the mood as schools across the country celebrated the good results. Our Coast Regional reporter Francis Ntomwa has the pulse of the Coast region.
Ecstasy, song and dance. These were some of the scenes that characterize most top-performing schools across the country. In Mombasa, however, that excitement was short-lived with calls for the reintroduction of the school ranking system.
Yeah, not like this, I guess, that the celebrating part, but I feel that competition is going to decrease very much, as in, especially in Mombasa, schools really struggle. Because of the competition, they want to shine.
Kuna na wengine hata wangetaka pia kujulikana na pia juhudi zao ziweze kushukuriwa na wengine. Lakini sasa kutokana na hii kutolewa mambo ya ranking, hawawezi kujulikana zile talanta zao na vile walivyofaulu, na hata na wadhamini ambao wangeza kuwasomesha hawawezi kuwajua kwa urahisi.
Nakuru's Kabarak High School was a wave of excitement after candidates scored an 11.4 mean score, the highest in the school's history. But here too, the move not to rank schools did not go down well.
It wasn't easy because with ranking in the past, you could get information right from the national television or the press or the media, so to speak, as soon as the information, the results were released by the Cabinet Secretary.
Starehe boys were counting their blessings too after another sterling performance this year. Although the school is yet to bounce back to its former glory, there was still excitement over the results posted by the 2014 crop.
The rest of the schools that supported them in bringing in these very wonderful results. Well done, students, teachers, and everyone else.
In Kisumu, similar scenes were witnessed at Maseno School. It was even sweeter victory for Rangala girls, who produced top candidates in the examination. The debate on whether to remove ranking or maintain it is one that has been greeted with mixed reactions. However, all eyes will be on Education CS Jacob Kaimenyi and whether the new system will produce better results. Francis Ontomwa, KTN.
And following the release of the KCSE examination results, various schools across the country continued to celebrate their stellar performance. Mangu High School, which is said to have significantly improved after posting declining results last year, celebrated throughout the night with parents and teachers commending the candidates for their performance. At that school, at least 108 students scored an A compared to 63 students in 2014. It was also, actually in 2013, that should be, and it was also a lot of celebration in Muranga Boys High School, where 51 students managed to score A's. The school principal Willie Kuria said the improvement was as a result of grueling internal programs that engaged the students and ensured they studied hard. Teachers joined students in celebrating the exemplary performance, which was termed as the best ever by that school.
We cannot expect any other result apart from very good results. Even this year we are projecting very good results because we have the same teamwork.
We give them cards every week with the results every Wednesday. And this brief has really helped these boys to do very well in their division.
In other news, a notice of motion to remove from office Embu County Assembly Deputy Speaker Ibrahim Swale has been tabled before the Embu County Assembly, setting off a fresh round of confrontation between MCAs perceived to be aligned to the embattled Governor Martin Nyaga Wambora and his adversaries. Sponsored and moved by Mavuria Ward MCA Joseph Nyaga, the impeachment motion comes at a time when the Assembly is divided between those in favor of the impeachment processes of the Governor Wambora and those against. Coincidentally, Mr. Swale, the Kirimari Ward MCA, is famously reputed for filing 2 impeachment motions against Governor Wambora. The Deputy Speaker now finds himself faced with the same predicament.
I need to work about the committee and done what the balance committee done. Pursuant to Section 9, subsection 5 of the County Government Act 2012, this County Assembly resolves to remove from office the member elected on 22nd March 2013 as acting Speaker pursuant to Article 178, Sub-Article 2 of the Constitution of Kenya, commonly referred to as the Deputy Speaker, for incompetence and abuse of office. In this Assembly, there is no full member or half member. What we have here are 33 members of the County Assembly. Any derogatory insinuation or connotation will not be entertained by the chair.
An acute water shortage has hit Uasin Gishu County, with the center of focus being the Eldoret ASK showground scheduled to be officially opened this Friday by President Kenyatta. The show officials are now accusing Eldoret Water Services Company, Eldowas, for failing to provide constant water supply ahead of the opening of the regional agricultural show. Speaking during a press briefing, the ASK management officials, led by its national deputy chairperson Jack Tuwei, put the water services company to task, saying it is failing in its mandate to supply water in the town, especially for the national event, which is now forcing exhibitors to draw water from boreholes. However, the water company managing director Ruben Tuwei says the ASK owes the water company over 5 million shillings, which they haven't settled.
Eldowas wameshindwa na kazi. I think you'll agree with me, all of you. If you live in Eldoret, I don't know, unless you live near State House where they get water every day, all of us are being rationed water. Tunaambiwa kuna damu kwa Chebara imejaza maji. So where is this water going to? And as a people, not only as the leadership of ASK, we need to ask, what is happening? Why is it that we don't have water?
We have an issue with the ASK because of an outstanding bill, so they're also on disconnection. So yeah, we have a bill which has been growing of up to 5 million, There was, of course, we have the one for IDPs, but we have since isolated that, and the Ministry of Special Programs has since taken up that bill. But the SK has an outstanding bill which has been there long even before the IDPs occupied the showground.
From Eldoret, let's now cross to Nyeri County, and a man has been taken for specialized treatment in Nairobi after he sustained severe injuries on his private part. He was allegedly attacked by his wife of 39 years at their home in Dunguri village in Othaya, that is Nyeri County. The man, a tea farmer, is recuperating at Nairobi Women's Hospital, and the medics at the hospital say he has to use a catheter to empty his bladder as the injuries are quite severe. The victim disclosed that the genesis of their argument is their 2-acre piece of land which is under tea plantation. The father of the 10, who claims to have been attacked on February 16th, lamented that none of his 10 children had gone to visit him in hospital during his 3-week stay at the Nyeri Referral Hospital before his transfer to Nairobi.
Nataka kuamuka, kumbe bibi naye alikuwa amejificha nyuma ya mlango na alikuwa na fibu. Kujaribu kuamuka hivi ndio nikasikia nimegongwa mguu na fibu. Kuangalia nikaona ni yeye na fibu, na kijana yuko hapa. Sasa nikawachana na kijana, nikafikiria niruke nimnyang'anye hiyo fibu. Naye kijana ndio akanishika kwa shingo. Kunishika kwa shingo, naye mama akasidi kunishapa na hiyo fibu. Kijana mwingine akaja akanishika kwa mguu tena. Sasa wakawa watatu. Nikapigia watoto wangu wako Nairobi simu anitumie pesa ninunue dawa. Hawakunitumia. Nikaona wakakatazwa na mama yao. Hata hakuna mtoto amewahi kuja kuniangalia hata nikiwa hospitali. Nashukuru sana.
Kajiado County government has revived the only polytechnic in the county after 5 years of closure. The polytechnic is located in Oloitoktok after incessant complaints from the local community on the need of a technical institution. The county government has injected 8.5 million shillings to revive the dormant giant Namlock Polytechnic to give local youth a new lease of life. New modernized structures have been set up, fully fitted with state-of-the-art machines. These include computers, modern welding machines, and motor vehicle repairing machines as well. Most local youths in the region pass most of their time playing pool games, while others involving themselves with illicit brew and crime as well. But with the reopening of the institutions, youth have been challenged to join the polytechnic to acquire skills to enable them earn a living.
Wanacheza pool, wakuja wapi? Hapa.
Kuja kwa sababu tunajua kuna watoto wengi hapa ambao wengine wamemaliza form 4, wengine wamemaliza class 8, wengine walitokea form 2, na wote wanaweza kuingia hapa. Hata wengine ambao wamepita vizuri, wakiingia hapa watakuwa mafundi wa maana.
Let's now talk business. And National Bank today reversed the trend so far of profit growth for banks, announcing a 28% drop in 2014 pre-tax profit during the year. The bank's profit stood at 1.3 billion shillings compared to 1.8 billion shillings a year earlier. Profitability was weighed down by what the bank terms a one-off restructuring cost paid to workers laid off last year. The bank spent 1.1 billion shillings on the exercise, but now projects stronger growth. This year, National Bank has been revamping its product offering in the recent past, looking to edge bank into Tier 1 status and compete favorably in the banking sector. It wasn't all gloom for the bank, which, other than the one-off costs, posted strong financials. During the year, net interest income rose 21% to 6.79 billion shillings, while fees and commissions accounted for a net income of 2.13 billion shillings, up a third from the previous year.
We have as a balance sheet is 123 billion. That's the overall footing, the overall size of our balance sheet from 67 billion, which compounded annual growth rate again is 35%, meaning every year since we introduced the new strategy, our balance sheet was growing at 35% year on year for 2 years on the trot. And that again is 5% higher than the target we've set for the balance sheet, which is, or rather, sorry, a bit higher than that, is 35, probably closer to 10% higher than the target we set for ourselves to become a top tier bank, balance sheet size wise. So we are way ahead of it. And this, the main constraining factor that we face is the capital side of it, but we're working on getting that sorted out through a rights issue.
Beer maker East African Breweries has announced plans to raise 11 billion shillings. The brewer, which says it has received regulatory approval, did not, however, specify why it was seeking to raise the amount. In a statement in today's dailies, EABL said it would raise the money through a corporate bond, with the first tranche expected to raise 5 billion shillings. Minimum subscription to the offer is 100,000 shillings, with investors having an option of a fixed or floating rate of return. 2 weeks ago, EABL announced it would be shedding its debt position as the company continued to enjoy a better financial position. Latest financials indicate the brewer's short-term borrowing stood at 9.7 billion shillings, down from 12.5 billion shillings in June 2014. While the bank overdraft dropped drastically to 566 million shillings from 1.75 billion shillings over the 6-month period. CFC Stanbic Bank has been picked as the lead arranger for the bond, which opens today and will be on offer for the next 2 weeks. And now in sports, Southampton and Aston Villa bagged maximum points to improve their ranking on the English Premier League table last night. Southampton edged out Crystal Palace 1-0, courtesy of Sadio Mane's late goal, to move to the 5th place, pushing Liverpool to 6th. Liverpool hosts Burnley tonight. Christian Benteke scored from the penalty spot deep into injury time to give Team Sherwood his first win as Aston Villa manager and lift them out of the Premier League relegation zone. A record 7 matches have been scheduled to be played tonight. Defending champions Manchester City, who lost to Liverpool at the weekend, will be home to Leicester City. City are second, 5 points behind leaders Chelsea. The Blues stay away to West Ham United. Arsenal travel to play Queen's Park Rangers as Newcastle United invites Manchester United. And that's Leicester City, not Leicester. All right, and that's all we have for you for our news update this afternoon. Thank you so much for watching. Always a pleasure to be with you. I'm Sophia Wanuna. Have a good afternoon.